For millennia, the striped hyena has suffered from a profound image problem, vilified across cultures as a creature of dark magic and malevolence. Ancient Arabian mythologies claim that its gaze could hypnotize a solitary traveler, compelling them to follow the beast into a desolate ravine where it would devour them alive. In parts of North Africa and the Middle East, folk tales routinely accused it of exhuming human graves, leading to widespread persecution, poisoning, and ruthless hunting. This terrifying mythos was largely fueled by its nocturnal lifestyle, its bone-crunching feeding habits, and the eerie, unearthly vocalizations it emits when threatened or excited. Beyond the haunting legends lies an animal that commands deep ecological respect from modern biologists. Far from being a cowardly grave robber, the striped hyena is a vital cleaner of harsh ecosystems, disposing of organic waste that would otherwise breed fatal bacteria and disease. It is an exceptionally adaptable survivalist, capable of thriving in landscapes so brutally dry that even lions and leopards abandon them. By dismantling dead animals down to the very marrow, this misunderstood species recycles nutrients back into impoverished soils, serving as an irreplaceable pillar of ecological health across 3 continents. Hunting, survival, and battle strategies. While widely recognized as a master scavenger, the striped hyena is far more capable of active hunting than popular belief suggests. Operating primarily under the cover of dense night, it utilizes an extraordinary sense of smell to track living prey over vast, open distances. When hunting, it relies on slow, methodical stalking rather than explosive speed, targeting vulnerable prey such as tortoises, lizards, roosting birds, young gazelles, and domestic livestock. If a pursuit begins, it employs an endurance-style chase, wearing down its prey through tireless persistence across rugged terrain until the target collapses from sheer exhaustion. Survival in a feast or famine world requires remarkable strategic flexibility and tactical caution. Because it usually operates as a solitary hunter rather than in a large pack, a striped hyena cannot afford a debilitating injury received during a hunt. When confronting dangerous prey, or attempting to steal a carcass from rival predators, it relies on calculated intimidation tactics, raising its long, prominent dorsal mane to artificially double its body size and emitting deep, resonant growls. If outmatched, its ultimate survival strategy is strategic retreat, using its immense stamina to outwalk pursuers and live to forage another night. Predator battles, rivals, and natural enemies. Navigating a landscape shared with apex carnivores requires constant vigilance and calculated risk management. Across its expansive range, the striped hyena routinely crosses paths with powerful rivals, including gray wolves, leopards, cheetahs, caracals, and in parts of India, Bengal tigers and Asiatic lions. In interactions over carcasses, it relies heavily on bluffing and sheer psychological pressure. By erecting its coarse, spiky mane and making aggressive lunges, a single striped hyena can often intimidate a solitary leopard or cheetah into abandoning a fresh kill, securing a massive meal without taking a single physical hit. However, when confronted by pack-hunting rivals like gray wolves or larger prides of lions, discretion becomes its primary weapon of survival. Unlike its African cousin, the spotted hyena, the striped hyena rarely has safety in numbers to engage in prolonged territorial wars against major predators. If cornered by a far superior force, it employs a fascinating defensive mechanism. It plays dead, collapsing into a complete limp state until the confused attacker loses interest and moves away. Once the threat clears, the hyena springs back to life and slips silently into the dark terrain. History, origin, and evolution. The evolutionary saga of the hyena family is a fascinating story of survival and transformation across tens of millions of years. Despite their physical resemblance to large dogs, hyenas are not canids. They belong to the suborder Feliformia, making them more closely related to cats, civets, and mongooses. The earliest ancestors of hyenas appeared during the Miocene epoch, roughly 20 million years ago, originating as small, tree-climbing, civet-like predators. As global climates shifted and vast grasslands replaced dense forests, these primitive carnivores adapted to life on the ground, developing longer legs and stronger jaws to compete with early dogs and big cats. During the Pliocene and Pleistocene epochs, hyenas reached their evolutionary peak, diversifying into dozens of species that ranged across Eurasia, Africa, and even North America. Among these were massive running predators and specialized bone crushers like the giant short-faced hyena. The striped hyena lineage split off relatively early in this evolutionary timeline, retaining a more primitive, adaptable, and generalist bodily structure compared to the hyper-specialized spotted hyena. This generalist design proved to be an incredible evolutionary success, allowing the striped hyena to endure major extinction events that wiped out larger, more specialized prehistoric carnivores. Throughout human history, various cultures have attempted to bridge the divide between human civilization and the wild world of the hyena, with intriguing yet often disastrous results. Ancient Egyptian tomb paintings reveal that over 4,000 years ago, young striped hyenas were captured, force-fed, and kept in semi-domesticated settings for food and ritual purposes. In more recent centuries, nomadic tribes and desert dwellers occasionally adopted orphaned cubs, rearing them alongside livestock in the hopes of creating an exotic guard animal. However, these historic endeavors inevitably unraveled as the animals reached adulthood. Unlike dogs whose wild lineage was selectively bred over tens of thousands of years to instinctual loyalty and docility, the hyena's genetic code remains fiercely wild and unpredictable. Mature hyenas, suddenly driven by territorial shifts or food aggression, frequently turned on their keepers, inflicting catastrophic, bone-shattering injuries on livestock, children, and owners alike. Today, keeping a hyena as a pet is not only illegal in most jurisdictions, but biologically irresponsible. Those seeking an imposing protector are far better served by domesticated guardian breeds like the Caucasian Shepherd, Rottweiler, or Congal, which offer fierce devotion without the dormant lethality of an untamed predator. Intelligence, behavior, and communication. Beneath its rugged exterior lies a sophisticated mind built for complex problem-solving and navigational memory. Field studies reveal that striped hyenas possess an extraordinary cognitive map of their home ranges, which can span hundreds of square kilometers. They can remember the precise locations of waterholes, seasonal fruiting trees, hidden den sites, and even cache spots where they previously buried surplus bones for later consumption. When encountering complex obstacles such as wire traps, heavy stone den entrances, or securely stored food, their spatial reasoning and persistent trial-and-error behavior match the problem-solving abilities of many wild canids. Unlike the boisterous and highly social spotted hyenas, the striped hyena leads a far more reclusive and mostly solitary lifestyle, which dictates a very different style of communication. It rarely makes the famous whoop or giggle calls of its spotted relative, communicating instead through low-frequency growls, high-pitched whines, and elaborate visual body language. Visual signals, such as ears pinned back, tail posture, and erect mane hairs, clearly convey mood and intent during rare encounters with neighbors. Furthermore, they maintain complex scent-marking networks, using a specialized anal gland to deposit a pungent paste known as hyena butter on rocks and bushes to broadcast their territory, health, and breeding status. Anatomy. Physical adaptations and senses. Every physical aspect of the striped hyena is engineered for ultimate durability and heavy-duty processing. Its body features a uniquely sloping profile, created by powerful, highly developed forequarters that transition down to noticeably shorter hind limbs. This specialized skeletal structure gives the animal incredible lifting power in its neck and shoulders, allowing it to pick up and carry away heavy animal limbs or entire carcasses over several miles. Its iconic fur coat consists of coarse, straw-like guard hairs marked with bold, dark vertical stripes that break up its silhouette in the patchy moonlight of dry scrublands. The head of the striped hyena is a biological marvel built around one of the most powerful crushing apparatuses in the animal kingdom. Driven by massive sagittal crest muscles on top of its skull, its jaw force can effortlessly shatter the thickest leg bones of large ungulates, exposing the rich marrow inside that other scavengers cannot reach. Complementing this brute strength is a specialized digestive system containing extremely concentrated gastric acid capable of dissolving bone fragments, thick hide, hooves, and horns. Overseeing these physical weapons are hypersensitive senses. Its large, mobile ears can pick up the distant rustle of a dying animal, while its nasal passages can detect rotting carrion up to several miles away downwind. Habitat, distribution, and ecological role. The striped hyena boasts one of the most expansive geographical distributions of any medium-sized carnivore, spanning from North and East Africa through the Middle East, the Caucasus, Central Asia, and into the Indian subcontinent. It is a true specialist of dry regions, favoring arid savannas, stony deserts, scrubby badlands, rugged mountains, and open canyons. It generally avoids dense tropical rainforests and extremely cold high-altitude zones, thriving instead in places where water is scarce and vegetation is sparse environments, where its incredible heat tolerance and water-conserving metabolic traits give it a distinct advantage. As a keystone scavenger, the striped hyena fills a vital ecological vacuum within its semi-arid habitats. By rapidly consuming decaying animal remains, it removes breeding grounds for deadly pathogens such as anthrax, rabies, and tuberculosis, effectively protecting both wildlife populations and human livestock. Furthermore, its unique ability to digest bone means it excretes white, calcium-rich feces that act as a crucial soil fertilizer in nutrient-starved desert landscapes. Without this tireless night shift cleaner, arid ecosystems across Africa and Asia would suffer from increased disease outbreaks and stalled nutrient cycling. Diet and feeding behavior. The diet of the striped hyena is extraordinarily varied, reflecting its nature as an opportunistic omnivore. While animal carcasses form the core of its diet, it is far from restricted to meat alone. In harsh desert environments, it regularly consumes a wide range of plant material, including wild melons, sweet fruits, berries, and succulent roots, which supply crucial moisture when surface water is unavailable. It also hunts small vertebrates, consumes insects, eats bird eggs, and will readily forage through garbage dumps on the edges of human settlements when natural food sources run low. When feeding at a carcass, the striped hyena demonstrates a unique sequence of consumption designed to maximize energy gain while minimizing confrontation. It bypasses soft tissues if other scavengers are present, moving directly to the dense structural bones, hide, and cartilage that other animals abandon. Using its massive premolars, it cracks open long bones with explosive crunches, swallowing large bone splinters whole. If the feeding site feels insecure due to nearby predators, the hyena will bite off an entire limb and carry it kilometers away to its cave or den, enjoying its nutrient-dense meal in complete safety. Scientific classification and genetics. Taxonomically, the striped hyena is classified under the kingdom Animalia, phylum Chordata, class Mammalia, order Carnivora, and family Hyenidae. Within this small, highly specialized family, which contains only 4 living species, it belongs to its own distinct genus, hyena, as hyena. Its closest living relative is the brown hyena of southern Africa, with which it shares a relatively recent common ancestor, while the spotted hyena and the insect-eating aardwolf represent more distant evolutionary branches within the family. Genetically, the striped hyena possesses a diploid chromosome count of 2:40, a genetic structure that has remained remarkably stable throughout its evolutionary history. Comparative DNA analysis indicates that modern striped hyena populations retain moderate levels of genetic diversity, despite centuries of habitat fragmentation and localized extinctions. Genetic studies across its global range have revealed 2 primary ancestral lineages, one spanning North Africa and the Middle East, and another covering the Indian subcontinent, reflecting ancient geographic barriers that shaped the species' movement and gene flow over hundreds of thousands of years. Reproduction, parenting and life cycle. The reproductive cycle of the striped hyena is not bound by strict seasons, allowing adults to mate at almost any time of the year when conditions permit. Courtship is typically brief, involving mutual scent marking, vocal whines, and pillow erection displays before mating occurs. Following a gestation period of approximately 90 to 92 days, the female gives birth to a litter of 1 to 4 cubs inside a secure underground den, often located in a natural rock cave, an abandoned burrow, or a deep earth fissure. At birth, striped hyena cubs are far less developed than spotted hyena cubs. They are born blind and helpless, though they do possess their characteristic striped fur patterns right from the start. Their eyes open after 10 to 15 days, and by 4 weeks, they begin venturing to the entrance of the den. The mother exhibits deep maternal dedication, nursing her cubs for up to 6 months, while continuously carrying solid meat and bone fragments back to the den to introduce them to adult food. Young hyenas remain dependent on their mother for over a year, learning crucial scavenging routes and survival skills before dispersing to lead independent lives that can last up to 12 to 15 years in the wild. Breeds, subspecies, or regional variations. Scientists generally recognize up to 5 distinct regional subspecies of the striped hyena, each exhibiting subtle adaptations tailored to their specific geographic environments. The North African striped hyena inhabits the Maghreb region down through the northern desert borders, characterized by a noticeably larger, more robust physical build, and a dense, grayish coat, designed to retain warmth during freezing desert nights. Moving southward into East Africa, the delicate Somali striped hyena features a sleeker, lighter build with shorter fur and striking, razor-sharp vertical black stripes that offer optimal camouflage among dusty acacia thorn scrub. Across the Middle East and Arabian Peninsula, the Arabian striped hyena represents one of the smallest variations of the species. Adapting to some of the hottest and driest environments on Earth, this subspecies has evolved larger ears to radiate excess body heat, a buff golden base coat that blends seamlessly into pale sand dunes, and a lighter frame that reduces daily caloric requirements. In contrast, the Syrian striped hyena ranges through the Levant, Anatolia, and into the Caucasus Mountains, sporting a darker, bushier winter coat and a broader skull suited for crushing the bones of larger northern ungulates. In the easternmost reach of its global range, the Indian striped hyena thrives across the arid plains, scrub forests, and ravine systems of the Indian subcontinent. This subspecies is distinguished by a rich, silvery white coat marked with deeply contrasting pitch-black stripes, a prominent and unusually long dorsal crest, and a slightly higher frequency of social behavior, occasionally observed in small family pairs sharing dens along river systems. Despite these subtle geographic variations in size, coat density, and coloration, all subspecies retain the core skeletal and physiological traits that make the striped hyena a master of survival. The crucible of predators. Who rules the clash? In the ruthless arena of the wild, an encounter between a striped hyena and another predator is a high-stakes chess match defined by sheer power, biological leverage, and survival instinct. When face-to-face with a lion, the hyena recognizes an invincible titan. A single strike from a lion's massive paw or a clamping bite to the spine can instantly prove fatal, forcing the hyena to rely on calculated retreat, psychological bluffing, or playing dead to survive. Against a leopard or a cheetah, however, the dynamic shifts dramatically. While a leopard possesses superior speed and stealth, a striped hyena carries an immensely muscular neck and a jaw force engineered to shatter solid bone. Using its formidable size, raised spinal mane, and bone-crushing threat display, a determined hyena can often intimidate a solitary big cat into abandoning its hard-earned kill. When matched against canines, an isolated feral dog or domestic hound stands virtually no chance against the hyena's thick, puncture-resistant hide and overwhelming bite strength. Only when hunting in a large, coordinated pack can dogs turn the tide, using relentless agility to harass the solitary hyena from all angles until it retreats into the shadows. What should you do if you encounter a hyena? If you suddenly find yourself face-to-face with a hyena in the wild, the most crucial rule for your survival is to never panic, turn your back, or run. Running immediately triggers the predator's innate hunting instinct, signaling that you are fleeing prey in an environment where the animal can easily outrun and outlast human speed. Instead, stand your ground, keep your body upright, and make yourself look as large and imposing as possible by raising your arms or holding a jacket above your head. Avoid staring directly into the hyena's eyes, as carnivores interpret direct eye contact as an aggressive challenge. But keep the animal firmly in your peripheral vision while slowly backing away. If it continues to approach, stomp your feet, clap your hands, and shout in a deep, authoritative tone rather than letting out high-pitched screams. Because hyenas are naturally cautious and strictly avoid risky fights that could cause them injury, projecting calm confidence and superior size will almost always force the animal to lose interest and back down. So guys, that was the complete documentary on the hyena. Here at Fin Uncovered, my goal is always to bring you thoroughly researched, in-depth information on any animal in the shortest time possible, making it clear and easy to understand so you get maximum value without wasting your time. If you enjoyed discovering the mysterious life of the hyena and the brutal laws of the wild, please give this video a like and share it with fellow wildlife enthusiasts. Be sure to check out the other videos on the channel and subscribe to Fin Uncovered so you never miss our upcoming research. Drop a comment below to let me know which animal you want to see covered next. See you in the next fascinating video.